Hello and welcome back to another episode of WWE 2K20 on Monday Night Raw. Once again, we have the usual matchup card. However, we have one big match at the end of the night tonight, as well as we also have Paul Heyman announcing later on tonight who his new guy is, since Brock Lesnar has not been seen. But our first match up on Raw is actually Dolph Ziggler taking on the unbelievable Bo Dallas. As Bo Dallas tries to get his feet on the ground, kind of coming up from the competition. Also, if you haven't noticed, I'm using my old mic, not my new amazing mic AT2020. Not sponsored, but if you want to throw me a sponsor, I'll sponsor you because you're one hell of a mic. Regardless, audio tonight will be a little bit less adjustable by me, so it is what it is. But out first, Dolph Ziggler, and now bringing out Bo Dallas. And like I was saying before we cut to the match, Paul Heyman, after Brock Lesnar has not been seen for a while, is now choosing a new man as his kind of guy, the Paul Heyman guy. He's choosing a new one to replace Brock Lesnar, who has not been seen. And that will be decided later on tonight. He said he will post it on any social media, and it will be an interesting thing to find out, as we haven't seen Paul Heyman on at all. We have seen Brock Lesnar in one single match before the first Raw in the Universal Championship 8-man elimination match, which he lost. I believe he was the second to last eliminated, or maybe the last eliminated. Anyways, enough about that. Bo Dallas is out here. Crowd booing again. Not entirely sure what that's all about, but regardless, let's take a look at what he can do against someone as formidable as Dolph Ziggler. I don't think Dolph Ziggler is going to let him get very far, as Dolph has had quite a career out of making fools of people. And never mind, Bo Dallas right out of the gate with a neckbreaker on Dolph Ziggler, laying him out in the center of the ring, getting him back up to his feet and hitting with a straight punch in the face. Bo Dallas really going after the offense right out the gates. And there we go. Dolph Ziggler coming back with a spinning neckbreaker to take down Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas did not win his first match. His first match against Xavier Woods did not go as planned. Speaking of Xavier Woods has issued a challenge against the Red Machine, the Monster Kane, set for the Champion of Champions, or Night of Champions. Pay-per-view, not Money in the Bank. Pay-per-view. Oh, and Bo Dallas taking a breather here. Dolph Ziggler on the outside with a takedown onto the concrete. Not gonna feel too good for Bo. Bo is in trouble here. He's hit with a straight punch by Dolph Ziggler and sit to lay out on the floor. And a double drop kick lands him on the floor again. And a running neck breaker takes out Dolph Ziggler. But yeah, Xavier Woods will be taking on the Monster Kane at Champion of Champions. Obviously, Braun Strowman being the Universal Champion. That will not change, as he will be in that match. Also on that match will be The Miz as the Intercontinental Champion, Kevin Owens as the United States Champion, one of the Hardy Boys. Oh, it's getting close to a countout. And it looks like Bo Dallas doesn't care. I think that was 6 fingers I saw. He really needs to get him back into the ring. We're getting close to a finish. That's an 8. Okay. Bo Dallas finally back into the ring. Finally taking things where they started. And that's a big suplex by him onto Dolph Ziggler. And right hook, picking him up and slamming him into the corner before throwing him into the center of the ring. The other people in that match will be the Cruiserweight Champion, Tommaso Ciampa. Kick out at 1. And then, as well as that, we will also have the NXT Champion. That will probably be Ryan, but he does have a competitor on NXT on Wednesday and a DDT from Dolph Ziggler. Bo Dallas is already back up to his feet. And he hits him with an inverted DDT. Dolph Ziggler quick to get up that time. Bo really trying to get a win here. Picks him up and slams him down into a neck breaker. Again, he goes for the pin. 1, kick out at 1. Dolph Ziggler already getting back up to his feet. Bo Dallas in trouble. He's not really getting very far in this match. He's not being able to keep him down for much more than 1 count. There's a Dirty Deeds by Bo Dallas. Pulling a card out of Dean Ambrose's book. Another Dirty Deeds by Bo Dallas. And the face is busted open from Dolph Ziggler. And now he's bleeding all over the mat. His head is an orange head damage. Isn't looking good for him. Another Dirty Deeds by Bo Dallas. A 3rd Dirty Deeds. And he goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Seems to be doing the trick, though Dolph Ziggler is back up to his feet. Ziggler from behind, strike from behind. Bo Dallas didn't seem to see him get up. And he's hit with a Famerster. Dolph for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, kick out at 2.5. Bo barely kicked out of there. But Dolph Ziggler has a finisher ready. Is he going to hit the zigzag? He slings him into the corner. And what's he looking for here? A strike. An overhead strike to Bo Dallas. He went for a kick. Does not connect as Bo Dallas jumps over the kick and hits him with his own straight to the face and then into a back suplex, dragging him to the side of the ring and breaking him with a cutter. And now picking him back up to his feet. He's got a signature saved up and he's got the hip toss. He goes for the pin. Will it be enough? 1, 2, 3. And Bo Dallas has picked up his first win on Monday Night Raw. And Dolph Ziggler falling a little short tonight. Let's see the match next. And that match will be, I believe it's Apollo Crews and Daniel Bryan again. Oh, he's going for the handshake. What a good sport. Bo Dallas has won his first match. It's not Apollo Crews versus Daniel Bryan. That is the match after this. This one is The Rock taking on Bray Wyatt. Obviously pissed off that Bray slid Braun a chair, which Braun then used to clobber The Rock with, getting himself disqualified, retaining the championship just before being chokeslammed by none other than The Undertaker. So let's see if he's able to beat Bray Wyatt tonight. Bray Wyatt has been in 2 matches before. I had accidentally said in his last match, in a tag team match, that he had been in, that had been his first match. I forgot on the first night of Raw, he was on Fatal 4-Way, and that was to determine the contender against the United States Championship, which he lost, as he missed a strike on Shinsuke Nakamura, allowing Shinsuke to get the pin. So I was a little bit wrong on my information there. I was also wrong with Crow versus Adam Cole. Adam Cole hadn't tried cheating against Crow. It was actually Barnett. But Crow, being, a good sport, tried to go after Adam Cole for trying to meddle with the tournament. So I was a little wrong on that as well. Regardless, here is the electrifying one, the movie star The Rock, And out next will be the Wyatt family. Let's go ahead and bring them out right now. And here they come. All 4 of them. Braun Strowman included. Braun Strowman being the Universal Champion, who is going to be having to watch his back, as The Undertaker could take his title at any time at all. So here are the Wyatt family. The Wyatts. And they are slowly trying to take over the WWE, one person at a time, as they've already taken down. Well, Braun has technically taken down The Rock, and now they're trying to take him down the rest of the way. And they are going to be going after people trying to assert themselves as the most dominant force in the WWE. They got rid of Drew McIntyre. Really, Braun Strowman did that all on himself. And Drew McIntyre will be facing Triple H at Champion of Champions to try and earn himself a rematch for the Universal Championship. They also will be facing off at some point in time against the Shield, I would imagine, as the Shield is kind of the face of the company right now, trying to take down anyone who's a nuisance. Tonight they'll be facing, in the main event, the Shield will be facing off against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Chris Jericho. So stay tuned for that towards the end of the night. Regardless, here is the Wyatt family. Let's go ahead and get this match started. As we get it started, The Rock in one corner and Bray Wyatt in the other corner. Bray Wyatt is hoping to defend his family, who seem to have disappeared just as suddenly as they appeared. There they are. And The Rock pinning him in the corner already. Strike to the face. Oh, The Rock's playing dirty now. That's not a good thing for Wyatt, but he instantly picks him up for a pump handle slam into the center of the ring. And a hip toss to The Rock. The Rock already on the defense. Bray Wyatt trying to take as much as he can in the very beginning. Kick out even before one. Not even a 1 count on The Rock. And Bray Wyatt still doesn't care about if he got a 1 count or not. He's still trying to just take down The Rock. That was a standing suplex by Bray Wyatt. And a big clothesline knocks The Rock down. Headbutt. I would imagine that would probably hurt, seeing as he's hitting the front of his forehead. I guess you can't hit the back of your forehead, but hit with the forehead as opposed to the top of the head. The top of the head is where you want to headbutt somebody, because that's the hardest part of the skull. But he's using the forehead, which is not as tough. And The Rock got a reversal, slamming Wyatt down, and The Rock is back in this match. Stomping down on Bray Wyatt's neck, and then a kick to the spinal column. So we'll pick him back up to his feet, and he picks him up for a suplex of his own. And The Rock is on fire now. He's really warming up. Now that Wyatt got all his offense off in the very beginning, The Rock is now in control of this matchup here on Raw, as Bray Wyatt still trying to defend his champion. Braun Strowman, clothesline from The Rock, lays out Bray. And Wyatt is in trouble here, ducks under clothesline, and hits him with his own. Wyatt rolls back up to his feet. Oh my god, a big right hook knocks down The Rock, and The Rock is in trouble as he's back on the defensive. Oh, that folded The Rock in half. Literally, he just about hit his forehead on the ring. And Wyatt, with an elbow drop, completely misses The Rock, but he broke the ring. The ring is no longer showing Raw. It is all black. I just now noticed that. Somehow, the Wyatts have broken the ring. And now The Rock is in trouble here. hung up on the ropes in the midsection. He goes for a pin. 1. Kick out at 1.5. Almost a 2 count. The Rock back up to his feet. And a running attack by Bray Wyatt. Rock with a kip up. He manages to hit the knee. Bounces him off the ropes. And he suplexes him into the back ropes. And The Rock is trying to get back into this one. As Bray is on the ropes on the outside. Manages to get out of the Rock's grasp. And picking up for a Uranagi. Almost a rock bottom. 1, 2, kick out at 2. But Wyatt has Sister Abigail in his back pocket. Is he going to go for it? Kick to the gut. Rock could be in trouble here. He does have a signature, though. If he is able to get out of Wyatt's grasp, he might be able to hit his signature, or possibly even a rock bottom on him. Wyatt with the elbows into the shoulders. That's got to hurt The Rock. Picking The Rock up. The Rock is in red body damage. A clothesline from Wyatt. Lays him out again. The Rock could be done. He could be injured. Just repeatedly attacking the midsection and the shoulders of The Rock. Trying to take him out of action altogether. Oh, this could be bad for The Rock. He's about to go for the Sister Abigail. Wyatt with his menacing, odd crawl that he has. Getting ready for Sister Abigail. Oh my God. The strength of this man. Being able to hold yourself up like that. And he hits him with Sister Abigail. Kisses him goodnight. And he goes for the pin. Is it enough to pin the electrifying one? 3 count, and it is. Bray Wyatt has beaten The Rock fair and square. No chair involved. And The Rock finding yet another loss on Monday Night Raw. Not being able to pick up any wins quite yet. Though, to be fair, his first match should have potentially had him win. But, well, technically he did win. It's just he didn't win the title, as he was beaten with a chair. So we'll have to see if he tries to work his way back up to another title shot. Unfortunately, Bray Wyatt has stopped that from happening. And the ring is still out. I'm not sure, like, they must have broken the electronics in the ring. We're going to have a technician down here. Anyways, let's bring them out and get into the next match on Monday Night Raw. And we're back with Daniel Bryan. And we have managed to fix the ring posts and the sides of the ring. We had a technician down here trying to fix that. Also, on break, in between the matches, Paul Heyman tweeted out and mentioned that he is recruiting Cesaro once again as his guy that he is going to be coaching. He coached Cesaro back in 2014, 2015, around that time. Pushed him into Money in the Bank. Got him into the Money in the Bank. Not the ladder match for the Money in the Bank, but a ladder match for the WWE Championship, which was actually given up by this guy, Daniel Bryan, a few nights prior due to an injury to his head and neck area from Kane. But unfortunately, Cesaro didn't win. That coaching with Cesaro kind of fell apart after that. But he is taking up Cesaro once more. All things forgiven. And he will be trying to push Cesaro into main event spotlight once again. And Sheamus already trying to work his way up into his own main event spot. So that will see the Bar not really facing off for tag matches. Rather, they will be facing off in singles competition. They are allied, just singles. So out comes Apollo Crews. And this is a no-holds-barred, no DQ match. So there's no disqualification whatsoever in this matchup. We've had so many matches of Apollo Crews against Daniel Bryan. So far, it's been pretty even. Both men winning a few, and we'll have to see which one's able to pull it out here tonight. They will be having a match at Extreme Rules, an Iron Man match, to determine the true winner between the two of them. So this is kind of leading up towards that. Also, we've had some news of Akam and Razor still arguing it out and feuding, and they got into a bit of a argument apparently backstage. Not into a brawl, just a little bit of an argument. And so we'll have to see where that leads, as they will probably be facing off against each other right after the Night of Champions / Champion of Champions / Clash of Champions, whatever you want to call it, the Champion of Champions pay-per-view. They'll probably feud there. Apollo Crews right out of the gate with some offense on Daniel Bryan. A big slap across the chest. Daniel Bryan could be in trouble here. Bounced off the ropes. Apollo went for something. Didn't connect. He does manage to hit him with a back suplex of sorts. Kind of put him on kind of like a torture rack. I believe that's one of the moves that Ryback did. Oh, a right hook brings Bryan down to one knee. And a spinning heel kick from Apollo. A running elbow from Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan trying to get back into this matchup here tonight. And a stomp. And he went for something, but Apollo gets out of it and punches him in the gut, picks him up, and hits him with a Samoan drop. Daniel Bryan back up to his feet with a Hurricane Rana, laying out Apollo Crews, and a few elbows to the top of the head, busting open his head. That is the hardest part of your skull, so for it to bust open like that, I'm not sure how hard Daniel Bryan must have hit him. He must have hit him hard. Kick to the gut, and now Daniel taking full control of the match with a snap suplex onto Apollo Crews. Crews not doing so hot. Hit with a German again. Well, not again, but a big clothesline and a kip up from Apollo Crews as Crews tries to get back into the matchup, trying to even things out once again. Bryan with the reversal there, managing to get out of whatever that was. Some more elbows to the top of the head, and he's already bleeding from the top of the head. This could spell disaster for Crews. More elbows. He's really targeting the head of Apollo Crews. Crews now bleeding profusely from the skull. Can't really notice it as his head is so shined up, but Daniel Bryan hit with a drop of some sort, and he is down. And Crews going for the first weapon of the match, a kendo stick, but he's hit by it himself, and Daniel Bryan has a signature saved up. Is he going to go for the signature, or is he going to continue to stick it to Apollo Crews, who hits him with a spinning heel kick and lies him out in the center of the ring? I'm not sure why I had a small stroke and tried saying lie instead of lay. I laid him out in the center of the ring, slamming him down after trying to break the neck. I really am having a stroke. I can't speak right now. We might need some medical staff down here, not only for the bleeding head of Apollo Crews, and for my strokes, but also for Daniel Bryan's back. His back seems to be pretty beaten up right now. Apollo really targeting the torso and neck area of Daniel Bryan, where he was injured and spent 3 years out for injuries. And now Apollo Crews going for a pin. 1, 2, kick out of 2. Daniel Bryan barely managing to kick out of that one. Apollo trying to get back up to his feet in time, and he does. Spinning neck breaker, and it slams Bryan down head first onto the mat. Bryan with another Hurricane Rana, and he's got one saved up. Is he going to go for the yes lock? No, he goes for a different lock. And stomping on the wrist of Crews. Crews could be in trouble here, as Bryan is going for yet another weapon. Pulling out a baseball bat. Oh no. Lord knows what he's going to do with that. Hit to the back of Apollo Crews once again. And now to the shins and knees. Really targeting everything. Oh, and he gets him in a lock. He gets him in a lock. Is he going to tap out? Crews could tap out right here. And he taps out. Daniel Bryan gets another win over Apollo Crews going into Night of Champions. Which he won't be facing Apollo Crews at Night of Champions. Or Champion of Champions, but he will be facing him at Extreme Rules. And at Champion of Champions, maybe Daniel Bryan will have to warm up to somebody. Tapping out Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews could be injured. Who knows? He did have his head busted open. Busted wide open. And was bleeding profusely. So let's go ahead and get into the next matchup here on Raw. And the next match here tonight is an open challenge match by The Miz, and look who has answered the call. He's back. Finn Balor. Finn Balor returning from an injury caused by The Miz. He is back and ready for some action. Returning against the former. And I'm not sure why he's got that attire. I swear I chose a different attire. That's not his actual attire, but, you know, whatever. I guess. And also out will be The Miz. The Miz successfully defending his championship not once but twice, technically, as he was counted out, which means it was a draw and he retained the title. The countout was due to him being stuck in a submission from AJ Styles, which he did not tap out to. AJ Styles did pick up the pin. Unfortunately, he had been counted out already. The ref was just bad at his job, and so he was removed for a few nights. She returned somehow without approval. Regardless, Finn Balor has returned, and he will be taking on The Miz, and hopefully at an Extreme Rules, he will be taking on The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz obviously will be at Champion of Champions, facing off in that 6-man elimination match. So unfortunately, Finn won't get a piece of him then, but he will be getting a piece of him at Extreme Rules. So let's go ahead and bring out the Intercontinental Champion. And The Miz did manage to actually legitimately beat AJ Styles 100% without any cheating involved on a Raw right after Money in the Bank, which AJ Styles was pretty pissed about. He wants a piece of Triple H as well. Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles already pissed off at the new GM, so we'll have to see where that goes. I also chose a different attire for him, so I'm not sure why he came out in that attire, but regardless, let's look past all that and let's go ahead and get into this matchup. And it is Finn Balor in one corner and The Miz in the other. Oh, it is his custom attire. Okay. So The Miz's attire worked. Finn Balor's did not. And Finn already pushing The Miz into the corner. And the referee's going to have to actually get involved here, pushing him away. A-lister, I thought it said Alistair. We haven't seen Alistair in a while. Maybe Alistair will have to make his return as well. Not really from an injury or anything, just more because we haven't seen him in a while. And Finn Balor right out of the gates with a sling blade and taking it to The Miz. Miz rolling out of the ring to catch his bearings and has Finn in a headlock. Rolls him down to the mat now. And a few strikes to the... well, a single strike to the face. Thought he was going to go for more, but he did not. Really technical wrestling right now. The Miz pinning him up in the corner this time. The referee again having to separate the two. Finn Balor clotheslined by The Miz. The Miz goes for a pin. One. Kick out at one. Obviously Finn Balor pretty pissed as well that AJ Styles fell short as AJ Styles was trying to win the championship in Finn's name. Now Finn Balor will actually be trying to win the championship in AJ's name, seeing as AJ was counted out and then pinned rightfully by The Miz. The Miz now getting the offense in, hitting with a neck breaker to the back. There goes for the pin. 1. Kick out at 1. Kick out at 1. And trying to break the neck of Finn Balor. Finn Balor slammed out of the mat. And what is The Miz trying to accomplish here? As he doesn't really have much to prove, as he's already defended his title against AJ. And a head scissors lands him in the center of the ring. Bounced off the ropes, and Finn Balor with a spinning DDT and a kip up. And Finn is back in the matchup. Again, he had been injured by The Miz. Ooh, a gut check by Finn Balor. Balor really getting into this match. A right hook sends The Miz down to one knee. And another right hook. He is not too happy with The Miz, not only for what seems to have been the heist of the century, stealing the championship back from AJ Styles due to a technicality, but also because The Miz managed to beat him in one hit with a chair. He hit him once and pinned him. To be fair, after that match, I do believe he went on to take quite a beating from another person, hit them once and pin them. So The Miz seems to have the power to be a powerful Intercontinental Champion. He will gladly take a count out. Ooh, that was close. I think that was a 9 count. Or maybe that was a 4 count. I looked at the fingers and I thought I saw 9 fingers. The Miz really trying to damage Finn Balor again. Probably trying to get him to go back on a injury leave once more. Not wanting to deal with him at Extreme Rules. And he hits him with a single leg drop kick, laying out Finn Balor. And looks like a 6 count, maybe a 5 count. I have numbers turned off. Yeah, that was a 6 count. Finn Balor getting back in the ring. The Miz getting back in the ring. And they've brought the match back to the ring. That was a 9 count. Oh boy. Big boot from The Miz lays out Finn Balor once again. Finn in trouble here. As The Miz is able to hit him with a signature DDT. And he goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Barely kicked out there. We'll have to see if The Miz is going to hit him with the Skull Crushing Finale or with the Coup de Grace, which he's been doing of late. And neither. He gets him into a figure 4 lock. He's going to try and tap out Finn Balor on the leg that he injured him with. Is Finn Balor going to tap out? No, Finn manages to get out of it. And The Miz getting his leg twisted up a little bit. Finn has a signature now. Slings him into the corner. And he's going to hit him with it. Target acquired. And he hits him into the corner. He's going to go up. Nope, he's going to go for the pin immediately. 1, 2, kick out at 2. The Miz being resilient here. Finn Balor going up top to try and pull off a coup de grace on the A-lister. And he hits him with a coup de grace. He's going to be able to pull off the pin. 1, 2, kick out at 2. The Miz is still in this. He is still in this matchup. He has not given up quite yet. Balor with a comeback. Getting ready to try and make his comeback. Hits him with an elbow. Hits him with another elbow. And a sling blade to lay out the A-lister once again. He's got a signature saved up. Twisting the neck of The Miz. The Miz could be in trouble. Miz pulled back up to his feet and slung into the corner again. Balor spinning him around. Is he going to pull off another? Yes, he is. The target is acquired. And he hits him with a double drop kick into the corner. And he goes for the pin off the corner drop kick. 1, 2, 3. He manages to pin The Miz. And that has got to suck for The Miz going into Champion of Champions to try and win the Champion of Champions title, which will replace whatever title wins it. So say well, except for the tag titles, but say for example Ryan wins, as I would expect him to win, seeing as he's undefeated with a 7-win streak. If he is to win, the NXT Championship will turn into the Champion of Champions Championship. It will turn back if Ryan is beaten. If Ryan is beaten and loses the title, say he wins it and he loses it, then it will no longer be the Champion of Champions title. It will be the NXT title again. Anyways, let's get into our main event. And now for the main event, it will be... Oh, really? It got rid of my custom... I had the Shield banner and everything on there, but it got rid of it. It will be the Shield of Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins facing off against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Chris Jericho. Dean Ambrose, of late, has been taking on several of Kevin Owens' friends in order to try and get a shot at the United States Championship. And following Kevin Owens outright stating on social media that Dean will not be getting a championship shot, as he has not proven to be worthy, despite beating both Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn. The Shield were pretty unhappy with that decision. Therefore, they challenged all 3 men to a 3-on-3 match in the main event of Monday Night Raw. So finally, we get to see the Shield in action. 3-on-3, where they best succeed. And there is the Shield. So let's go ahead and bring out their competitors, Kevin Owens and friends. First out, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, being the United States Champion, current United States Champion, could change, as he did say, due to his efforts and failing in his efforts, Sami Zayn will be his choice that he will defend his championship against, mainly to teach a lesson to Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho not to cross Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn obviously walking out on the match against Dean Ambrose originally. He did come back and tried to take advantage of Dean Ambrose, thinking the match was over. However, Dean still managed to pick up the win and get the better half of Sami Zayn. Therefore, Kevin Owens wasn't too happy about that stunt and said that he will be facing off against Sami Zayn at Extreme Rules for the championship to teach him a lesson, as he said. So now let's go ahead and bring out one of his followers and one of his closest friends, Chris Jericho. And I'm gonna go ahead and skip their entrances and go ahead and get into the main event. Here comes Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn being the one that failed and the one that will be having to face off against Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens trying to make an example out of him. Roman Reigns out first. And a big right hook from Kevin Owens as Kevin Owens tries to take the match control here at the very beginning, the very start. Somehow manages to hang him up on the top rope. Roman could be in trouble here right out of the gates, as he's sent down with a big punch by Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens tagging in Chris Jericho. Also, I'm not sure why Rollins' name is Rollins turned Shield, and why his why his sleeves are painted his skin color. Gonna completely Yep, nope, I did not mean to say that. But why his sleeves are painted his skin color, I'm not sure. It looks a little odd. I'm going to have to go and fix that. That is a downloaded character. Ironically, Dean Ambrose is the one I customly made, and Dean Ambrose looks better than the 2K19 render of Dean Ambrose when he got his actual render put into the game. But I did download Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, their Shield attires. I guess it wouldn't have been too hard to just make the attires myself, but whatever. I downloaded it. Oh well. Sami Zayn being tagged in now, and hitting with a flatliner. Sami Zayn trying to prove his worth early on. He goes for an enziguri, does not connect, as Seth Rollins hits him with a spinning heel kick. This is the first time we've seen Seth Rollins fight on Monday Night Raw, I do believe. I believe the last time he was in a match, it was for the Universal Championship in the 8-man elimination match, which Roman Reigns was also in. Kevin Owens pushing Dean Ambrose out of the way, but Dean hitting with a knee. Dean being the one most upset about Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens' decision to not give him a title opportunity. Dean just going off on Kevin. Kevin Owens is really taking the boot from Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose in a submission lock. Is he going to be able to tap out Kevin Owens? No. Kevin does manage to get out of that. And he's connected with a knee again. Dean tagging in Seth Rollins. Rollins getting ready to try and put the smack down on Kevin Owens. Oh! I thought that was a roll-up. I thought he was going to go into a roll-up straight there. But apparently not. He hits him with a spinning heel kick, laying out the champion. Champion managing to kick himself out of it. And picking Seth Rollins up and putting him in the corner. Kick to the gut. Oh, several kicks to the gut. Really stomping on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins could be in trouble here. Picking him up for a package powerbomb. Oh, a package pile driver. And he goes for the pin. And a kick out. Immediately. Not even a 1 count. Rollins has taken the most damage in this matchup for the Shield so far. However, he has put a lot of damage on Kevin Owens in the process, slamming it into the corner. Kevin Owens getting out of whatever Seth was trying to do. And Seth with a takedown, shot to the elbow and shoulder, trying to injure Kevin Owens, it looks like. Kevin with another package pile driver. Not really a pile driver, package, I don't know what you call that. Clothesline somehow hit Kevin Owens so hard that Kevin fell forwards instead of backwards. But, you know, drops him onto the knee and goes for a pin. 1, kick out at 1. Roman back up to his feet. He's hit right out of the gate by a right hook from Kevin Owens, slung into Kevin's corner. Another beatdown by Kevin with the stomps in the corner. He is really making that into one of his moves that he's been doing. Trying to hit all the members with a Shield with stomps in the corner. And he's trying to take them out one by one. Goes for the pin. He's really kind of being selfish in this matchup, as he's taken the most damage. He should have tagged out by now, but has failed to do so. The Shield, meanwhile, being more of a cohesive unit and tagging each other in and not taking nearly as much damage as Kevin Owens has. Clothesline lays out Roman Reigns, and he's going to go for the 5-star frog splash. No! He goes, ooh! He goes for a backflip splash. And he tags in Sami Zayn, finally tagging himself out. Maybe he was just trying to keep Sami Zayn and Chris Jericho at good health while also proving that he is the leader. The Shield not really having a leader. I guess you could say Dean Ambrose is the leader, as he is the singles competitor so far, trying to capture the championship from Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn slinging Roman into the corner. Roman could be in trouble here. And Sami Zayn going for an all-you powerbomb out of the corner. Roman does have a signature saved up. If he can just hit Sami Zayn with the Superman punch, he might be able to pull out the win for the Shield. He goes for a tag. He manages to pull off the tag as Sami Zayn was distracted. But a clothesline from Sami, and Rollins is laid out again. Like I said, the sleeves, I don't understand. I'm not sure why they did that, but I mean, I understand that, yeah, he ripped the sleeves off at one point in time and just did a jacket like that without the sleeves. But, I mean, it looks so weird. It looks like he's wearing extra skin on top of his skin. Like he's a synth from Fallout 4 or something. Maybe he is. Who knows? Slinging him into the corner. Tries something in the corner, but Rollins gets out of it into a back suplex. And Rollins is going to go tag in Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose hasn't taken any damage as of yet in this matchup. Dean being the one that took on Sami Zayn just a few nights ago. And he's slammed with a Blue Thunder Bomb from Sami Zayn, doing the first real damage to Dean Ambrose, and he goes for a pin immediately. One kick out of one. Who could have seen that? Sami, that was not a very good tactical decision. I'm not sure how that punch didn't connect, but he does manage to hit him into a package pile driver. That's more of a pile driver than what I was talking about with Kevin Owens. And one last kick to hurt him a little bit more. Hopping over the top rope after he tags in Chris Jericho, who hits him with a knee and a boot to the chest. Jericho also being in green health. And Kevin Owens' group really showing that they do have what it takes to be a cohesive unit, as they are in much better standings health-wise. Oh, not for long, as he's kicked into a Dirty Deeds. Dean Ambrose pulling out a Dirty Deeds. Is he going to be able to pull out another one? Ooh, he hits him with an RKO instead. Or a cutter. Not an RKO, a cutter. He hits him with the Lunatic Cutter. Chris Jericho with a roll-up. 1, 2, kick out of 2. Dean Ambrose almost got pinned there with a roll-up. And Sami Zayn's tagged back in. And a clothesline takedown from Dean Ambrose onto Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn manages to weasel himself out of whatever Dean was going for. Bounces him off the ropes and hits him with a single leg drop kick. And Dean getting back up to his feet, leaned up against the ropes. Hit back down to one knee. What's Sami looking for here? Slings him into one of the other corners. Goes for the finish. Doesn't connect. Dean Ambrose has the finisher. Is he going to... No, he puts him in the corner. I was going to say, is he going to put him in his corner and potentially try and pull off a shield bomb? But no. Hits him with an arm drag. This could be a problem for Sami Zayn. But no, Sami gets out of it somehow, pulling him into his own corner. Puts him up top on the top rope. Dean gets out of it. Knee to the side of the face of Sami Zayn. He's got a signature saved up, as well as a finisher saved up. Spins him around, and he picks him up into a face buster. And that is his signature. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Roman Reigns almost with a clothesline on Kevin Owens. Dean not too happy about that. Sami Zayn misses the right hook. Uh-oh. Roman could get counted out. Roman could get counted out. Roman rolls out of the ring. Dean Ambrose, meanwhile, has kept up. Oh, this could be it. A few strikes. Was Roman trying to be on his own team there? Roman having some difficulties. Sami Zayn being able to weasel himself out of that as well. And he picks him up for another package bomb. Package pile driver sort of deal. And he's going to tag in Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens now going after Dean Ambrose. who has 2 finishers saved up. He could tag in Roman Reigns for a Shield powerbomb if needed. Dropped onto one knee, and he hits him with a running senton. Kevin Owens has a finisher ready. Is he going to hit the stunner? Or is he going to hit the pop-up powerbomb? He is not going to hit either. As Dean Ambrose picks him up into a white noise. Sheamus would be happy to see a champion like that taken down by a white noise, giving him chance, potentially, at taking down a champion with a white noise of his own. And Ambrose really just waiting on the champion to get back to his feet, taunting Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens not going for a tag. Thought he was going for a hot tag, but he does not. As he's slung to the opposite corner, now he's going for a hot tag. Dean Ambrose standing in the way of it. And he picks him up for a big takedown. Kevin Owens went for a clothesline there, but was taken down very heavily by Dean Ambrose, who hits him with an uppercut and slings him into the corner. Is he going to go for it? No, he just goes for a chop instead. I thought he was going to go for it. He goes for a pin instead. 1, 2, kick out of 2.5. Sami Zayn walking into the ring like he was going to do something. Obviously, he is not wanting Kevin to lose here, as he has already lost once. Now, Dean with some boots in the corner to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens having done that to all of his Shield members. Dean Ambrose really pulling out some taunts here. Sami Zayn with a single leg missile drop kick to Dean. Ambrose could be in trouble here if Sami Zayn is able to get a signature saved up. He has. Sami now taunting to Dean, as Dean has been doing all night. Oh, and he gets him for a half and half suplex, busting open the head of Dean Ambrose. Barely getting back up to his feet. And Sami trying to pull him into the corner. No, leaning him up against the ropes instead, actually. And he ducks under a clothesline and hits him with a clothesline of his own. But he is in the Shield's corner. The Shield could, at any time, turn this around on him, and they have. And he manages to pull him into the corner. He's gonna go big here. Puts him up top. This could be bad for Sami Zayn. Big back suplex. Back suplex by Dean, but Sami able to get out of it as he rolls Dean down into a facebuster. And Sami Zayn putting him in a corner. Zayn slinging him into the corner again. And Dean does have another signature saved up. Sami goes for the pin. 1, 2. Broken up by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns being able to break up the pin on Dean. But Dean with a few kicks, and now he's got 3 finishers saved up. And he pulls him into the corner. And he tags in Seth Rollins. What are they going for here? Drop down into an elbow. And now Seth Rollins being able to take on Zayn. Chris Jericho still at pretty good health. Needs to be tagged in. Seth Rollins, however, has a signature ready. Oh, but he's hit by the finish. And this could spell disaster for the Shield. 1, 2, kick out of 2. Dean Ambrose stepping into the ring. Zayn goes for something. He's hit with a kick instead. And he goes for the stomp. Curb stomp in the center of the ring. He goes for the pin. No, he doesn't go for the pin. I fully expected him to go for the pin there. Instead, going for a few neck twists. And now Seth Rollins, the Architect, going crazy a little bit. And he is getting all fired up. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn still not getting back up to his feet. Now he is. Now he's trying to crawl into his corner for a potential hot tag. Getting up to his knees. It's not going to be enough, though, as Seth hits him with package suplex. Trying for a hot tag again. Trying to tag in Chris Jericho. He's hit with a snap suplex instead. And Seth Rollins showing his offense. And he's hit with a kick from Sami. Sami Zayn trying something here. Pulling him into the center of the ring. But Seth gets out of whatever it was and hits with a sling blade. Seth Rollins now on fire. And hits him with a spinning elbow. One of Chris Jericho's new finishers. Right in front of Chris Jericho. Spins him around into a neck breaker. He could tag in Reigns, and Reigns could hit him with a spear. Or he could try and do a shield powerbomb. Who knows? Slamming him down again. Picking him back up to his feet very slowly there. Hitting him with a spinning heel kick as well. Sami Zayn finally managing to tag in Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho with an elbow to the face of Rollins. Rollins could be in trouble here as Chris Jericho has much better health. But no, Dean Ambrose tagged in, and Dean goes for something. He's hit with a double drop kick. But Dean's already back up to his feet. The lunatic fringe is in control now. Jericho back up to his feet though, with a takedown and several strikes to the face of Dean Ambrose. Kevin Owens too knocked out to be tagged in. I'm not sure what hit Kevin Owens, but it stunned him just long enough that he wasn't able to tag in Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho with a lion salt. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Sami Zayn have beaten the Shield in their first 3-on-3 encounter. Unfortunately for the Shield, that means back to the drawing board as Dean Ambrose will not be getting a United States Championship title match at Extreme Rules. Anyways, this has been Monday Night Raw. We will have to see where all of this leads up to in the coming pay-per-views. First Champion of Champions pay-per-view, and then Extreme Rules following that a few weeks later. And there is the champion, the United States champion himself, Kevin Owens, celebrating with his friends. Thanks for watching.